Jack and his partner and lover Vika work as an effective team to maintain the autonomous drones that defend the power stations from the remnants of the scavengers. Jack and Vika receive their orders from Sally, their mission commander, who is stationed on the Tet, a massive tetrahedral space station that orbits the Earth. While Jack flies recon and repair missions to the surface, Vika supervises from the tower. They are expected to leave Earth and join the other survivors on Titan in 2 weeks. Although Jack and Vika had their memories wiped 5 years prior for security purposes, he has recurring dreams about meeting a mysterious woman at the Empire State Building in a time before the invasion which occurred before he was born. During one of his recon missions, Jack, while attempting to locate a Scavs signal beacon, is ambushed by the aliens but is luckily rescued by a drone sent by Vika. A rumbling is heard from a distance, and it appears to be a 6-stage meltdown from inside a hydro rig's core. Jack believes the scavengers weaponized one of the stolen fuel cells and got it into the suction. A rogue signal in Grid 37 is detected transmitting signal away from the planet. Sally sends the drones to defensive positions. Jack arrives at the location where the signal was detected, but finds a repeater and concludes that the Scavs are using the building as an antenna. Vika decrypts the signal, and it turns out to be a set of coordinates at Grid 17, a homing beacon. Vika finds nothing at Grid 17 and wonders why the Scavs will send a signal off-planet. Jack shuts it down and leaves the area, heading right for the border, the radiation zone, which is off-limits. He goes off comms, telling Vika that he will do a perimeter check before returning. But instead, he goes off the radar and arrives at a secret retreat in a forested area he sometimes visits, trying to get the feeling of life before the alien invasion. While at his secret hideout, a rumbling is heard. Despite Sally's order for Jack to stand down, he proceeds to the crash site, observing that it may be one of them, an ancient-looking vessel used prior to the invasion. He infiltrates the area and discovers several humans in sleeping pods. Out of 5 survivors, he picks particular interest in Julia Rusakova, a woman with striking resemblance to the lady in his dreams. Drones arrive the area, killing much of the hibernating human crew despite Jack ordering them to stand down. He manages to rescue Julia, unknown to him that he is under a strange surveillance. Jack takes Julia back to the tower, and Vika uses a medkit to trigger Julia awake. She has been in Delta sleep for a long time and is the only survivor of her crew. She smiles as if in disbelief. By the time Vika wakes up, Julia and Jack are long gone, heading to the crash site where Julia intends to retrieve her ship's flight recorder. Seconds after she finds it, they are captured by Scavs, who are later revealed to be humans living in an underground stronghold led by Malcolm Beach, who claims that the alien invasion was a lie. He discloses that drones work for the aliens and are programmed to kill humans. Malcolm also reveals that he brought down the Odyssey to get hold of its nuclear reactor, which will make the base for his fission bomb that he hopes to use to destroy the alien command center, which happens to be Tet, the space station in orbit from where Jack and Vika have been receiving orders. He blames Jack for almost getting himself blown into bits protecting Julia. At this time, Vika had requested Sally to send drones in search of Jack. While the drones approach Jack's location, Malcolm demands that Jack reprogram a captured drone to destroy the Tet by delivering an extremely powerful nuclear weapon. The drones are taken out by the resistance, and after Jack refuses to reprogram the captured drone, Malcolm releases them but urges them to seek the truth in the radiation zone where Jack is forbidden to enter. Jack takes Julia to the ruins of the Empire State Building, where he asks her who she is. Julia reveals that she was Jack's wife before the war and that her mission was a research flight to Titan. His dreams were flashbacks to the day he proposed to her on the Empire State Building's reservation deck. Jack is in utter shock. She tells him that he is not who he thinks he is. While Jack and Julia share a kiss, Vika watches via her video link to Jack's ship, and when they return to the tower, she refuses them entry. The jealous Vika reports the situation to Sally, who activates a drone that blasts Vika into shreds. Before the drone can kill Jack, Julia uses his ship to destroy it. Sally requests that Jack returns to the Tet and bring Julia with him, but instead they flee in his ship, chased by drones sent by Sally. Jack attempts using lightning bolts to disable the drones, but to no avail. With several close calls, he takes out a few of the drones during the chase, but they are eventually hit, crashing into the radiation zone, where Jack comes face to face with Tech 52, a clone of himself. Jack engages his clone in a fight who, upon seeing Julia, begins experiencing memory flashbacks before Jack renders him unconscious. On his return to Julia, he discovers that she has been hit by a stray bullet from his struggle with Tech 52. Consequently, Jack impersonates his clone, activating his ship and flies off to Tower 52, where he equally encounters a clone of Vika who kisses him, oblivious of his entire predicament. Jack steals a medkit and returns to Julia, taking her to his secret hideout, where she slowly recovers. She remembers when Jack promised her that when it was all over, he would build her a house on a lake where they would grow old and fat together, eventually dying and be buried in the meadow by the lake, where the world would forget about them. "Those memories are yours, Jack," she says. "They're ours." Jack and Julia return to Malcolm, who tells them that in fact, the Tet is an alien artificial intelligence that seized Earth to exploit the planet's resources, and that Jack and Vika are just two of many thousands of clones of the original versions that were created as soldiers to carry out the invasion of Earth. According to Malcolm, the Tet uses drones programmed to kill humans on sight, thus forcing the survivors to disguise themselves as scavengers, using Jack and Vika to maintain the drones, thereby asserting its dominance. With full knowledge of how Earth was invaded, Jack agrees to reprogram the stolen drone to destroy the Tet. Just before he could leave the underground stronghold with the reprogrammed drone, they are attacked by 3 other drones, which enters the base and begins to wreak havoc inside, killing as many survivors as it could, and eventually destroying the reprogrammed drone while at it. The unrelenting humans manage to destroy the attacking drones, but then they are forced to find another way to deliver the nuclear bomb to the mothership. Malcolm is severely injured during the attack. Jack proposes delivering the bomb himself, then Julia suggests she joins Jack to throw off any suspicions, since Sally had requested that he brings her to the Tet. Jack is seen placing Julia inside a sleeping pod in preparation for the flight, during which he listens to the Odyssey's flight recorder, which reveals that he and Vika were originally pilots on the Odyssey mission to Titan, which was reassigned by NASA when the Tet was discovered near Saturn. Sally was their supervisor at NASA Mission Control, with other personnel, including Julia, on board in cryogenic capsules. Jack arrives at the Tet, and upon approach, it draws them in with a tractor beam. Recognizing that he would be captured, Jack had jettisoned the sleeping crew members, who orbited for 60 years in suspended animation until Malcolm sent the signal to recall their craft. Jack enters into the Tet, where he is met by a sentient tetrahedral structure that adopted the personal of Sally. He quickly opens the sleeping capsule to reveal Malcolm instead of Julia, who simultaneously emerges from another sleeping capsule at Jack's secret hideout. Jack and Malcolm trigger the bomb, destroying the Tet at the cost of their own lives. The remaining drones worldwide are deactivated just moments before they were able to slaughter the survivors at the underground base. 3 years later, Julia is living with her young daughter in Jack's forest hideout on the recovering planet. A group of survivors track down their location and Tech 52 shockingly emerges from the group.